Welcome agents, I'm Ferno the Plug and this is my second build video. This will be a build on Blast Seeker mines and I hope you like it. Enjoy.
They're using a turret now!
System curtailed.
Target on the flank! Got the goddamn turret!
Take him out, Agent. safe zone. Okay, now find the detonator. The explosion should cause a cave-in that'll put you just inside the wall of the base. We need to retrieve the antivirals before Black Tusk can move them somewhere safer. Head down into the sinkhole and locate the things on the roof. Moving explosives there that should get you inside the perimeter once you detonate them.
UAV's going out.
Signal source detected.
That sounds promising. Could be a way to intercept Black Tusk comms.
Medical assistance needed.
I'm going in.
Serious trauma detected.
Fire! Deploying UAVs. Need another.
Wyvern, the helo's out of commission. How the fuck did that happen? This situation needs to get locked down. Now. You and personally. Copy that.
Stay cool. I'm almost there.
need to open the gate as soon as the area is secured.
The division is tougher than they look. I got one.
Antivirals.
All day.
Serious trauma detected.
Hostiles captured one of the cylinders. They're trying to intercept the other one.
Hold the bridge and protect that cylinder.
They got a turret running. I'm taking fire. Fire. Not running. Gotcha. Grenade!
Get to the flank. Target in the wild.
Sir, we've got hostiles on the bridge.
Quest denied. Can't rip those antivirals.
Copy that.
This is Thunderbird. I'm making an attachment on that hovercraft.
Negative, Thunderbird. They'll tear you to pieces.
I'll get the mini tank operation.
Wyvern, do you copy?
Get on board the hovercraft and secure the rest of the antivirals. The support will protect the cylinders.
Target to hit.
Target locked. Initiating launch sequence.
Everyone, this is not a drill. We need to evacuate the building right now. Repeat, this is not a drill.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Get away!
Rocket launch backup power activated. Launch sequence initiated. An agent needs assistance.
I'm gonna remember killing you. It's been a while since I could say that about anyone.
Vital signs critical.
Come to save the day, huh? But you're a real goddamn hero. Enough small talk.
Rocket launch backup power activated. Launch sequence initiated. Rocket launch backup power activated. Launch sequence initiated. Agent down.
Tossing the jammer!
Let's see how they like this!
Coming up the flank!
An agent needs assistance.
Alright, agents, let's talk blast builds. Now, so far I think I have the strongest blast build in Title Update 6. I could be wrong, but I mean, so far I haven't been proven wrong, as you've seen in the previous videos. So first we're going to go over to specialization, and I am using Demolitionist, and I'm using that solely for explosive ordnance and the artillery. Now the artillery is really great because you get blast damage plus bleed. My main weapon is going to be SMG. I use the LMG and the assault rifle for PvP purposes. So now getting into the build, the reason I'm in Demolitionist is because I'm using a Negotiator's Dilemma. Now first off, my weapons, I'm using MP5 ST with 16.6k damage, Sadist, Allegro, and Rooted. Then we have the Merciless, and I'm using that solely for the brutality. And then we have our pistol, which doesn't really matter, it just stays in my pocket. I I just need it for in rhythm. So first off, we're going to go over why I'm using Negotiator's Dilemma. And first, you got the 2-piece, you get the 30% explosive resistance. Then you got the 3-piece for the blowback. Launch a grenade at the target that depletes your armor. Can occur once every 3 seconds. And then we have press home the advantage. Now this is the one that really gets everything moving. Okay, explosives caused by the player's stack and bombarder buff. Each stack of the buff grants party raid members plus 10% explosive damage, and the player with 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds, max 4 stacks. Now this is very, very strong, and it's very strong whether I'm using my seeker mine or if I'm shooting my gun, because of brutality. Every time I get a blast, I stack a bombarder buff, I get 10% armor, and I get 10% skill damage. So the build altogether, it does need some improvements. I have 351k armor, I want that at 400k. I have a 90,000 health, I would like that to be at 100. So on the mask right now, solely because I'm using this gun and it definitely needs a damage buff, I have the 52% damage to elites with the 232 skill power going towards my gadgets. Now I do have another mask. I tried this one first. The damage was really bad, but I had my health where I wanted it to be. The weapon just falls off if you don't have the damage to elite, and I tested a bunch of times and people kept beating me for that specific reason. I can tell you that right now. I'm not 100% sure if damage to elite goes into your seeker mine, if it does the extra damage for the blast, but I definitely see a huge difference in having the damage to elite on there. So if you're going to make this build, I would definitely keep the damage to elite. Next we have the chest piece, and I threw on 25% total armor, still have 480 skill power and 22,000 health with destructive. Now between destructive and my backpack here, which I have hardened on, I would rather have destructive on my backpack and hardened on my chest piece. Reason being, I'm looking for the ongoing directive chest piece that has the 25% extra blast damage. So once I find that, I'll definitely be trying to roll for harden here, and I'll be looking for another backpack with destructive there. So for the holster is pretty great. The only thing about that is it's not maxed for the base armor, but I'll find that later. So we got 40,000 health and 519 skill power. Then we have our knee pads, and that's gonna be 30k base armor, and I got 11.5% total armor. Then we have the BTSU data gloves in this build, solely because of the bleed that we're gonna get, and I'll go over that. And then I'm using the percussive maintenance backpack Alp Summit with 608 skill power, 5% weapon damage, perfect tech support, and harden.
Agent requesting backup.
Now, the way this build works, usually how you would want to set it up, because it's all situational, dealing with anything such as the mortar. So the mortar's doing 446,000 base right now, and my seeker's doing 441,000 base right now. At any point I can shoot my gun, at any point I can send off a seeker. Whenever the blast goes off, I get 40% skill damage, and I get armor. And this is armor being tacked on. So say like you got bloodsucker, if I'm removing somebody's armor, that's the type of armor I get back. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I get that armor, which means I can tank now. On top of that, if I need to, I can face tank in the head. I can also face tank players with this. I've tried that as well in PvP. It just works beautifully. So The combo you're going to be looking for is finding the right situation to throw down your artillery turret. Once you can throw down your artillery turret, you're going to shoot the first enemy you see, and it's going to infuse your gloves. Now, whenever you apply a status effect, your gloves become infused with that effect for 60 seconds. While infused, you gain 10% skill damage, plus 10% skill healing and repairs, and plus 10% skill duration for each yellow you have. I have 12 yellows. Now, this is the beautiful part. And then you know the charge proxies, you know, you get 1.25 seconds. It shoots out the infused status chance that you have on that in a 6 meter radius, and everything does 50% more damage if they still have that status effect on them. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You can literally just clear rooms, and I mean like really clear rooms. I'm talking about you're hitting them for millions, Now, if you can't get your turret out, that's fine. That's why you have your gun. Now, you want to look for something with a high rate of fire. So the rounds per minute should be pretty high. Doesn't matter what you're using, the AR, SMG. I use the SMG. I would rather have a Vector, but they are really low. I don't have enough reds on here to actually play around with that, but I mean, as I'm fixing it up, it could be something that I could do later. So we'll see what it comes to once it's fixed up. But definitely strong, even just shooting your gun, because if that blast goes off from brutality, you got 40% skill damage right there. Now, the full combo. If you can get your turret down, and you can get infused with the bleed effect that comes with that, you're gonna get the infused here. So anybody hit with bleed is gonna take 50% more damage, which I could also do with throwing my seeker mine out and then do the charge proxies. So that's 50% right there. On top of that, you got the 40% just from hitting 4 enemies with a blast or just shooting a gun. Then if you kill someone, you got 30% here. And then on top of that, you still have the 120% that you hadn't even added in there yet from it just being on the gloves. So altogether, let's see, you got the 40% here, just off of the gear set. We'll just say off the gear set. Off the gear set, you got 40% there. Then you have 30% here, so that's 70. Now if I'm on the wall and my rooted is able to be active, that's another 25. So what was that, 70? That's now what, 95? On top of that, you got the 120% if you get the status chance off, so that's what, 215, and then another 50% if they're hitting the status chance, so that's 265 skill damage going off all at the same time. I don't know what it is, but this thing hits hard. And not even that, you can also still use Sadist and proc your gloves again. So if you get those 3 kills, you can use that. Now, I only do these videos at the beginning of the week because I actually want to showcase them through the hardest settings of playing this game. And the only way to do it right is to play with other players. And then at the end I do the solo, just in case you wanted to see what that was like as well. So far everything came together beautifully. So definitely, if you have the time, I mean, it's not really hard to build. All you need is 4 pieces. If you got the gloves already, you're good. You might have to farm for the backpack. I farmed for a couple of these backpacks actually. This was the first one I was using. That one's decent. I like it because it had more armor. But I'm still looking for one with the destructive on there. I definitely need that. But they're really easy to come by. I mean, with the new loot acquisition type thing they got out here, you can find this stuff anywhere. You definitely don't need to have the same guns. You could probably have a stronger gun, and it'll make the build better for it. So I definitely wish I could get more yellows. Um, I'm trying to stay away from that hardwired though. Now I've been seeing a lot of people using that hardwire for the skill cooldown, and to tell you the truth, this build here has been wrecking that. And you will see, you've probably seen, if you watch most of those videos in the beginning, that those builds were not touching this one. They were just left behind. It doesn't matter how many times they threw those seekers out, I still beat them in DPS. I just wiped them off the map. And on top of that, I've been giving them 40% extra skill power or skill damage the entire time, and they still couldn't beat me. So this has got to be one of the strongest blast builds in the game right now. So definitely, if you want to try it out, check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. The next build I'm going to be going to is probably going to be a fire starter. I'll have that build out next week. I'm working on getting the pieces now. So yeah, definitely, man. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Okay, here we go.
Hostile radio intercepted.
We're under attack. There might be a diversion, so be ready.
Hostile radio intercepted.
I'm heading upstairs to the hostage. Everybody, get to the atrium.
Shit. Saint's here.
The who now?
Hyena big shot. Real unpleasant. We need to kill this asshole. Anyway. He went all the
Try to run now! Nobody's responding from the atrium! Stand up turret! Reloading! I got ya! Taking you out! It's gonna blow! Need some for me!
That's what you get, dumb sons of bitches.
Doing all right there, Kelso?
As long as I'm not breathing asbestos. That blast did a lot of damage.
Keep it up forever!
strikes, but there are plenty of hostiles up there.
Not for long.
Let's do this.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Vital signs critical.
Need a mag! Fast!
They're coming for me.
Thanks for watching, agents. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.